If it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. But 6 local news anchors put doubt aside when they agreed to a sit-down interview with President Obama. The problem being the enticing opportunity came with a big condition.
It was a big day for Cami Durking, anchor of Cincinnati's Local 12 newscast.
Hey, Rob, it has been quite a day, I can tell you that. It's been amazing.
A live shot on the White House lawn, a one-on-one interview with President Obama. But to get the scoop, Durking and 5 other anchors first agreed to one condition.
Really, the only requirement we had is that one of our questions to President Obama had to do with the Supreme Court nominee.
That nominee, Merrick Garland, is going nowhere fast. So the president wanted to make his case through local stations like KCCI in Iowa.
How do you get voters in Iowa to look past the politics and look at the man? He is eminently qualified. Yeah.
Carrie Lake of Fox 10 Phoenix told her viewers why Obama's strategists picked this group of reporters.
They were all in states that had Republicans there who maybe could influence where this nominee that the president has chosen for the Supreme Court was going.
And so they went. 6 broadcasters willing to play Let's Make a Deal.
First of all, how awkward. Standing there, you're getting this awkward profile shot. You can just picture it's probably a White House camera. They're bringing the people in, whipping them through the, and they're going like this on the kids. But on the other hand, it's the President of the United States, right? You don't say no. You'd have to get that question probably in there really quick. You've done this, haven't you? Had one of those?
I've done this. Look, who hasn't done this? When you interview an author who's on tour, say President Carter has written a book. He's a prolific author, and he comes in. You are expected to ask him about his book.
Yeah.
Okay? There is no problem with the condition the White House put on here. The only problem is if they say you can't ask about something.
Yeah, that's true.
Now the problem is when if you lead with your question about Garland,
he takes 4 minutes
and he
to answer.
filibusters.
Exactly.
That's what they do. So that's why I hate that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Which I'm sure he did do.
You have a chance to interview the President of the United States, and that's all they're asking. Sign me up. Although that'll never happen, though.
No.
I don't think he wants to talk to me.
Not in Boston.
Also, I think there's a dance that a lot of us have done or continue to do where you want to do an interview with someone who's important for the story you're working on, and their press flack says, hey, can you tell me what questions you're going to ask? And you have 2 ways you can go at that point. You can say,
no.
Hell no, I'm not going to tell you anything. Or you can say, well, we don't tell you exactly the questions. We'll ask in advance. But here's the topics I'm interested in are. And it's a question of do you want the interview or not. I do think that there's a level of self-respect that we didn't see in all the video that we just showed. Like when the one guy was asking that super servicey question about how can you get people to look past the politics and look at the man. That was kind of a cringer.
Yeah, it was.
He choked.
I want to follow up a point that John made, that it would be far worse if you said you can't ask about something. It also would have been completely unacceptable if the White House had said, you have to ask a question about Merrick Garland, and you can't say that you have to ask a question about Merrick Garland. That would have also been just a strike against transparency that would have been completely unacceptable. I mean, we were seeing those clips of the local news people talking about this question. It seemed to me that they disclosed. They were pretty frank about why they thought the White House had insisted on this. I didn't really have a problem with it.
One of them did not disclose, so I do have a problem with that.
I have a problem with that.
I think you should disclose that we got a chance. They just didn't pluck us out of anywhere to come. And I really like the Fox reporters' comment that, hey, we looked around and it's wherever all the Republicans are that they're trying to put the pressure on. I mean, that gives you some thoughtful analysis and puts that in context. Then ask your question, and they didn't say you had to use it either. So you could ask it and not use it, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't force them to put it on the air.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go. But they probably knew that they would use it if they got in there.
Because it's probably the only question they got to ask.
Yeah.
Filibusters of 4 minutes.